Namaskaran. Good evening, everybody. I'm going to talk about the presentation, and this is the course for MCU003. And the final, you have to have the presentation. One presentation is about your topic, the topic that you are interested in, or especially someone who wants to practice about presenting the research paper. This is the example of the presentation. So let's go to see the presentation. Let me see. Okay. Where is it? Desktop, and the research and the presentation is here. Go. Presentation task. Okay, go. For the presentation, the most important part is to greet greet the people. Then you have to get involved other people by talking with the topic you are going to talk. Okay, so the first thing, we are going to go for the greetings, the audience. And then normally in every talk, there must be three parts. First, it must be the introduction. Then the second, it must be about the body. The body means the content you are included inside, that are included inside. And the last is conclusion. When we draw to the conclusion, there must be the question in the last part. Okay. Then, if you want to see how the people use the public speaking very well, you can follow the TED Talk, and there are the good way to present the TED Talk very well, very neatly, and very influenced thing. Okay, go to, for those who are going to practice presenting the research paper, you should ask this question for searching for it. And the first thing is about the topic you are researching, the topic of the research paper you are searching for. อันนี้สำหรับนิสิตที่ไม่ได้ฟังภาษาอังกฤษรู้เรื่องเนาะเวลาที่เราจะต้องค้นหา abstract หนึ่งเนี่ยนอกจากเรื่องหัวข้อแล้วนะที่สำคัญที่สุดเนี่ยเราก็เสิร์ชด้วยหัวข้อของเราเลยแล้วมันจะขึ้นหัวข้อที่ใกล้เคียงมาหรือถ้ามันไม่มีเลยจริงๆ the first thing you have to use the keyword แล้วปัจจุบันเนี้ยมันจะมีเรื่องของ keyword ใช่ไหมต้องใช้คำ keyword ที่สำคัญที่ปรากฏอยู่ในเรื่องของเราสมมุติอย่างเช่น sustainable development อย่างเงี้ยการพัฒนาที่ยั่งยืนเราหาแล้วเจอไหมแล้วก็มี Buddhist principle ไหมอย่างนี้เป็นต้นนะ the second what's the objectives normally there are 2 or 3 objectives of the research นะโดยส่วนใหญ่แล้วงานวิจัยมักจะมี2หรือ3วัตถุประสงค์ถ้ามากเกินนั้นก็รู้สึกว่าอาจจะทำประเด็นเล็กๆน้อยๆอะไรแบบนี้นะแล้วบางเรื่องมันก็จะมี hypothesis นะแต่ถ้าไม่มีก็ไม่เป็นไรนะก็เอาแค่ objective มาซึ่งเราก็จะเห็นว่าเฮ้ยเมื่อเขาต้องการวัดสิ่งนี้แล้วเขาศึกษาอย่างไรนะ so we have to know how did they conduct the research the conduct the research means the methodology of that research, and then what is or what are normally are 2 or 3 findings, right? What are the findings of the research? Okay, some people there's both findings, and some people there's the conclusion that after they get the finding, they can apply the findings to use in some communities or some subjects, some location. Okay, so there must be conclusion in some times. Okay, and what is your thesis topic you are proposing? Now you are going to compare with your work. If you don't compare it, you just know it and it doesn't fit you because it's just reading. So how do you get from it เนี่ยก็อยากให้นิสิตทำงานด้วยกันหาคือทำยิงปืนนัดเดียวได้นก2ตัวด้วยการที่พอหาหัวข้อนั้นแล้วต้องสอดคล้องกับหัวข้อที่เราจะนำเสนอด้วยนะคืออย่างไรก็ตามนิสิตหลายท่านจะต้องทำ paper หรือ literature review ที่ต้องมีภาษาอังกฤษอยู่ด้วยนะในนี้สำคัญนะเพราะฉะนั้นเราจะร่วมกันช่วยกันตรงนี้ What can you apply to your research paper แล้วจะต้องปรับประยุกต์ยังไงกับงานวิจัยของตัวเองโอเคนี่คือคำถาม and then so for greetings you can say like namaskar like me or good morning good evening at any time you are going to present okay and then I am I'm a graduate student from the faculty of blah 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 okay for me for example maybe I'm from the faculty of social science my major is public administrations or my major is social development like that or my major is I'm from the faculty of humanities and my major is English or my major is linguistics anything okay or my major I'm from IBSC like that and introduction there's no need to use the introduction I'm going to present the research paper on you say the topic about it for example I'm going to talk about the sustainability of the community-based research like that okay at first you can make the thesis statement it doesn't mean your work but is the main idea of the talk you are going to talk เนี่ยมันเป็นหัวใจสำคัญตอนนี้เราก็ต้องบอกว่า I have divided my talk into 3 parts such as objectives methods and results okay of the research paper I present so and then after the result of the paper I will discuss about how it relates to my study and finally how will I apply it to write my thesis paper or to work on my thesis okay for the body you can start with the initially firstly or to begin with the topic of research paper I found it is about sustainable development in tourism in agriculture tourism for example and then it's subject to word that blah 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 and then the methodology of the research conduct was that you can copy this quote okay this is like the stock phrase you can use it at your stock and then you add some sentence some topic on it and then in conclusion or in summary the research I presented is mainly about sustainable development anything okay then to compare with my thesis proposal there are some similarities and differences as follows sorry I was wrong as follows okay then conclusion finally I can adopt its methodology to conduct my thesis and can apply it to my location to my communities for example okay and then that's all my presentation if you say this I will understand it please feel free to ask me if you have the problems or do you have the questions thank you for your attendance thank you okay but to search for the paper at first I want you to search for the abstract you read all this abstract like this I have seen 2 pages of abstract from Noparat Satarat to you have to quote what year and the full name of the thesis of research okay and finally when I criticize it analyze it I can see the objectives of it of the research were first to develop a sustainable industry. Second, to maintain a healthy natural and social environment. And the last, to foster self-reliance in local communities นะอันนี้ก็เป็นส่วนที่เราสกัดออกมาสคริปต์ออกมาแล้วมันได้อะไรนั้นก็เขียนย่อๆไม่ต้องเขียนเต็มๆ okay and then the second method for me is very it isn't clear but the method is about community-based approach. This is the key word. Okay, so the research paper abstract said about the idea behind the community-based approach is to create a potential for empowering the community, enhancing their involvement in decision making, and making sure that the view and incentive they want to do to participate come from the community itself, not by our force. Okay, then findings. They found that the community-based tourism is in Thailand generally happened. It's happened in both inside and outside factors, such as economic difficulties. There's a crisis during this time, or environmental degradation. Degradation means the bad situation of environment. And the last is about the government policy. Okay, so the success of the community-based tourism depends on various various issues. First, it's about the abundance, the many abundance of tourism resources. There are many resources on tourism. And then the second will be about level of community participation. Yes, of course, because we are going to study about community-based. So the level of community participation is the most important. And then strong leadership. Now, there must be one leader who go forward on it. And then the strength of the community organization. The strength of the community organization is to organize or to manage the community and fair benefit distribution. For those who cheat may not be accepted for general, especially for the community, and it can't go further. And then the very important is to natural resource management. And finally is the sufficient outside support. We cannot rely on ourselves only, but we have to connect to other outsource. Okay, then the next conclusion, community-based tourism, which has been perceived as sustainable tourism. So this is the key. This is the key that community-based tourism, which it is the sustainable tourism. Then we adopt this principle to the philosophy of the sufficient economics philosophy, then mixed together with Buddhist economics. It was integrated together for the concept of community-based tourism as guiding principle. Then it equals real happiness. Okay, finally, I can say that as this research has claimed that Buddhist economics is a way to develop sustainability based on community, I applied this concept to study in my hometown to prove whether it will applicable in my hometown or not. Okay, actually it must be in. Okay, and then we draw my end of the presentation. Becomes to the end of my presentation. That's all. Please feel free to ask me if you have any questions. And finally, I have to say thank you for your attendance. Bye-bye. โอเคจากอันนี้เป็นยังไงบ้างครับที่ผมแสดงตัวอย่างของการนำเสนอไปนะซึ่งมันก็พูดไปได้เรื่อยๆเนาะเราก็มีเหมือนการอ่านตรงนี้แล้วก็เสริมเนื้อหาเข้าไปนิดหน่อยน่าจะไม่ยากเกินไปคิดว่าทุกท่านน่าจะทำได้นมัสการ